Hey, Ag Teacher Thoughts here. Kind of do a video response to a question that I had on one of the Ag Teacher forums. The question was pricing. What are we going to do on pricing? So there's a couple of different schools of thought on that as far as what you're going to do. I'm going to try to keep this shorter and sweeter than the 15-minute video I just filmed. So we'll try this version. See, you're a school, okay? All you really need to do is honestly cover your cost. If you've got a budget, cover your cost. All said and done on this, water, light, heat, fertilizer, soil, cutting, pot. I think I'm into it. I think like $1.23 is about where it is. But for this is a 4-inch petunia. This is actually one of my hanging basket plants. I'm using it as an example for a color spot. This isn't a color spot. If I were to price this out, I double my costs. Let's see, I'm at $246. Add a little bit more for that. Okay, so you're going to take that. You're going to add a little bit of a margin onto that. With these, I'm not going to sell them for $246. I'm not going to just simply double my cost and call it my price. I'm going to add a little bit on there because with my plants and with marketing, if you sell stuff too cheap, the perception is that's cheap stuff, right? And we don't buy cheap stuff. We buy good quality stuff. So this is a really nice looking petunia. Yes, it's January. It's the last weekend of January, and this is where my petunias are as far as where they are. And we're in northern Idaho, so they're actually way ahead of where they should be. But take your cost, double it, and then add a little bit of a margin on there. And you're going to get to choose your margin. But as long as you're covering your cost, it doesn't really matter, right? If you've got a budget or you've got an account, take that extra money, put that in there. You'll use it to improve your greenhouse. You'll use it to do repairs. You'll use it to buy new stuff. But take your cost, double it, and then add a little bit to that. And it depends on what you're doing to what you add for your margin. If I'm growing marigolds, everybody knows marigolds are cheap, right? The seed is cheap. You can collect it yourself and get marigolds. I'm going to just double my cost on marigolds, and I'm going to call it good, right? I'm going to sell my marigolds $2.50 a piece, but I'm not actually going to sell them for $2.50 a piece. I might sell them $2.75 a piece, but I'm going to do something else, and I'll explain kind of on this too. With these, my cost is $2.40, or my margin, doubling it should be $2.46. I'm actually going to take that and I'm going to add a little bit more onto that because petunias like this have a different perception. Marigolds, everybody knows they're cheap. Tomato starts, people only expect to pay $1.75, $2.50, maybe $3 if you get it to a gallon container, $4.95. They want to pay a lot less for plants that they perceive as easy or cheap style plants. This is more of an expensive one. This is actually a patented plant. I cannot propagate this. I can only get them from a commercial breeder and through like Ball Seed is who I get mine from. So it has a little bit more of a perception. So I'm going to add on a little bit more to that. So $2.46 was my margin. I'm going to add an extra buck. Okay, but it's not going to be $2.46. I'm going to sell this for $3.49. Okay, $3.49. So I know that I've got more than $1 extra that I've added above doubling my cost. Okay, now the next thing when I've got things like this, I would rather sell 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 of these and take a little bit of a loss on my potential profit than sell them onesie twosie. If I say it's just $3.49, then people are going to come in and they're going to buy, well, they've got a planter box, they need 4. They're going to come in and they're going to buy 4 of them from you, right? At $3.49 a piece. 4. I've got, oh no, I think there's 100. Yeah, no, there's 50. No, there's close to 100 of them here. So there's 100 of these here. I don't want to sell 100 of these at $3.49 individually. I'd like to clear them out faster, okay? So I'm going to put a quantity discount on there. So if you come in and you buy this from me, I'm going to knock a little bit off of each one, and I'm going to make you buy more. That's what pricing works like. That's how Americans have been conditioned. We've been conditioned to respond to bulk discounts. So if I knock a few cents off of this and I say that instead of $3.49, these are 3 for $10. Guess how many someone's going to buy? Well, they're not just going to buy 4, because if I buy them in quantities of 3, it's 3 for $10. So they're going to buy 6 from you. Why? They're spending more money, but the perception is they're saving money, so they'll buy more. So if you have these on there, put a price on it for $3.49 or a discount of 3 for $10. But this is a business, so I don't want to just sell them 3 at a time. I want to sell more. So rather than going in and say $3.49 each or 3 for $10, I'm going to take that same margin, so I'm not losing any more, but I'm going to up the number. $3.49 or 6 for $20. Is it the same price as 3 for $10? Yes. But if you put 6 for $20, 6 sounds like more than 3, even though the price is different. So if I did 3 for $10 and 6 for $20, they'll actually buy the 6 for $20 over the 3 for $10, even though it's the same price. Okay? The larger your number is compared to the price. So if I say I'm going to give you 6 of them and you only have to spend $20, they're like, oh, I get a lot of them. Versus if I say you buy 3 of them for $10. It's same, but they'll always buy more. So do quantity discounts that benefit you. Okay? Marigolds. So I said marigolds I'd charge $2.50, right? I think that's what I mentioned earlier. So marigolds, $2.50. The perception of marigolds is they're cheap. Okay? So I know it's going to be $2.50 a piece on my marigolds. Okay? So when I put my sign out there, it's going to say marigolds, $2.50 or 4 for $10. They'll always buy the 4 for $10 because there's a quantity discount, and quantity discounts are better. This is conditioning that American consumers have been programmed to respond to. So as a ag teacher and as a greenhouse grower, why not utilize that? You know, use it as marketing to take advantage of the conditioning that the American people have had. Now, the other question that I saw out there is when, you know, I don't want to do my pricing in odd dollar figures. I don't want to be like $2.73. I don't want to be like, you know, anything with change. I want it to be simple for my students. I want it even dollar amounts. Don't do that. Don't do that. You're teaching in marketing, right? So this is a lesson. This is a class. This is marketing. Your math teacher will thank you. Make them use math. It's a school. This is an educational process. When they go and they work for another company, they work for a store, they work for a restaurant, they're going to be in the 9s and the 7s. It's going to be how everything ends. Make them do that math. Every single one of them has a cell phone. They can calculate it on their cell phone if they have to. You give them a piece of paper, give them a flow chart that says if they get 6, it's equal to this amount. And they'll start to learn that in their head as far as the marketing. Don't make it easy on your students. This is a class. Make it hard. Make them learn. Okay? So that's that part. People still, there's one more part on that. People still do buy things with cash. Okay? In a lot of schools, you know, like my school, we don't have a credit card processing machine, so we're going to have to do a lot of our purchases with cash. So when you do that, make the students count the cash back, right? That's where it's like $3.97, 3 cents makes 4, 1 makes 5, 10 makes 20. Didn't do that right. Right? Make sure they figure that out. I'm trying to talk and think at the same time. No. Let's see. 3 cents makes 4. 1 makes 5. 5 makes 10. And then 10 makes 20. I forgot an extra $5 bill. But make sure they're counting that in there. Great. You guys are all going to give me a hard time about that. But hey, you try to talk in a video and do your math in your head at the same time. But anyway, make them count the change back. When I was a kid and we were doing our commercial greenhouses and we did retail, we got a calculator, but we weren't allowed to use it except in verifying our math. My parents were both teachers, so they made us do all of the orders longhand, and then we verified with the calculator. Or we filled it out longhand and we handed it to one of our siblings and they verified it on the calculator. But make your kids do the math. On your pricing, double it and then add what you need for the perception of the plant. Okay, so don't sell yourself short, just go for it and make them do the hard math, but also remember the quantity discounts. People will always buy in quantity. Okay, this has been Ag Teacher Thoughts. Hey, good luck. I got to get back to pinching petunias on a Saturday. It's because it's quiet. That's why I'm here. It's quiet and I don't keep getting interrupted. I can actually get this done. Okay, so Ag Teacher Thoughts. Hey, as far as marketing and pricing, give it a try. See what you think. I know this is rambling, but hey, if you like what you see, this channel is also going to be dedicated to Ag Teacher stuff, but specifically through the spring, we are going to be on greenhouse management and greenhouse marketing. I'm also going to talk about pests. I'm going to talk about plants. We'll talk about nutrition. Right now, I'm working on pinching, but this channel is going to be full of all of that. And I hope you guys all don't get mad at me for putting in a YouTube link. It's so much easier to respond with a video than it is to type this all out. But really, this is for all those folks that were asking about marketing. Double it, add whatever you need to for the perception, but don't make it easy on your students. Take advantage of the mental perception of price points. And I'm going to cover those on another video. All right, been Ag Teacher Thoughts. Good to talk to you. See you later.